welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something pretty serious. It's unfolded between India and Pakistan.
Yeah, it's definitely concerning. We're talking about a major escalation military action between two nuclear-armed countries.
Exactly. There's this long history, of course, but recent events seem to have, well, really spiked. We're basing our discussion today on a Fox News report covering these developments.
That's right. It details missile strikes, retaliations. It's a fast-moving situation, and our aim here is just to unpack what's being reported, the sequence, the claims from both sides.
Okay, let's start there. The report mentions India launching strikes first. What are the details?
Yes, the report states India fired missiles targeting what they identified as Pakistani military bases. This apparently happened on Saturday, May 9th.
Saturday. Okay, and specific bases were named?
They were. 3 of them. Nurkan Air Base, that's near Rawalpindi, Mirid Air Base in Shakwal, and also Rafiki Air Base over in the Yang district, eastern Punjab.
3 bases hit, or targeted at least. That sounds, well, significant.
It definitely signals a major operation, not just a minor skirmish.
So how did Pakistan react? What did they say about these incoming missiles?
While Pakistani officials did acknowledge the strikes, their claim, according to the report, is that they managed to intercept most of these missiles.
Intercepted most.
Yeah.
But they didn't just defend.
No, they announced they hit back. Their armed forces targeted military sites inside India in retaliation.
Right, and this was made public.
Yes, quite publicly. The Pakistani army spokesman, Lieutenant General Ahmad Sharif, gave a televised address about it.
A televised address. What were the key messages from General Sharif?
He wanted to make it clear that Pakistan's Air Force assets were safe, despite the Indian strikes. He also, interestingly, claimed that some Indian missiles actually hit inside India itself.
Hit inside India. How does that work?
Yeah, he specifically mentioned India's eastern Punjab province. The report doesn't elaborate much beyond that claim, but it's a significant counter-accusation.
Definitely. And how did he frame India's initial actions?
He called it a provocation of the highest order. So, very strong language, clearly framing Pakistan's response as justified pushback against a major Indian aggression.
Okay, provocation of the highest order. Did Sharif give any more specifics about the missiles India allegedly fired? You mentioned some hitting India itself.
He did. He claimed India fired 6 ballistic missiles originating from Adampur.
Adampur, okay.
And according to him, one of those missiles actually hit Adampur, so back near the launch point, essentially.
Huh. Okay. And the others?
The other 5, he claimed, landed in the Amritsar area, which is also in Indian Punjab.
Right. So all 6 allegedly landing within India, according to Pakistan.
Well, 5 in Amritsar, 1 near Adampur. But he also added another claim that some missiles even landed in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. Wow. Okay, that adds another layer entirely. Does the report offer anything more on that specific Afghanistan claim?
No, it's mentioned as part of Sharif's statement, but there's no further detail or, verification provided in this particular report. It's a Pakistani claim at this stage.
Got it. Now, stepping back a bit, this didn't just come out of the blue, right? Were there signs of rising tension just before these missile strikes?
Yes. The report notes that earlier in that same week, leading up to the May 9th strikes, Pakistan had claimed it shot down more than 24 drones. 24 drones. So things were already quite heated? Surveillance, maybe low-level clashes? It certainly suggests that, yes, tensions were clearly simmering quite intensely before boiling over with the missile exchanges.
Which brings us to the immediate trigger. What does the report identify as the catalyst for this latest round?
It points pretty directly to that awful attack in India-controlled Kashmir, the one at the tourist spot.
Right, that was devastating. How many casualties were there again?
26 people killed, mostly Hindu tourists visiting the area. A really tragic event.
And, let me guess, the immediate aftermath involved pointing fingers.
Predictably, yes. India squarely blamed Pakistan for the attack, held them responsible.
And Pakistan's response?
A strong denial. They've denied any involvement at all. It's a pattern we've seen before. This cycle of incident, accusation, denial makes de-escalation incredibly hard.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
And all this, we have to keep stressing, is between 2 countries with nuclear weapons. It's sobering.
It absolutely is. The stakes are incredibly high.
The report also had a quick mention, almost like a caption reference, about the Trump administration. What was that about?
Yeah, it referenced some earlier reporting mentioning that the Trump administration had, at some point, tried to step in and diffuse tensions between India and Pakistan.
Any specifics?
Just a quote attributed to former President Trump, "I want to see them stop."
It implies, U.S. awareness and concern, a desire to prevent things from escalating even back then.
I want to see them stop.
Yeah.
Simple phrase, but yeah, carries weight given the context. Okay, so just to kind of wrap up the sequence here.
Right.
India launches missile strikes on Saturday, targeting 3 Pakistani air bases.
Following that tragic tourist attack in Kashmir, which India blames on Pakistan, Pakistan says they intercepted most missiles, but then retaliates, hitting military sites inside India, announced very publicly.
And making claims about Indian missiles hitting Indian territory, even Afghanistan, calling India's actions a major provocation.
And all of this follows earlier incidents, like downed drones, indicating tensions were already high.
Exactly. It's a rapid escalation built on existing friction, now involving direct state-on-state military strikes between 2 nuclear powers.
It really paints a stark picture. This deep dive into the reported events just underscores how volatile that relationship is. It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it?
It does.
What are the chances of this spiraling further? What can possibly pull it back? And what role can or should the international community play when things get this heated between nuclear neighbors? It's a major flashpoint, that's for sure.
Absolutely. A reminder of just how complex and, frankly, dangerous the situation in that region can be.